talk to you about mental health as it pertains to menopause. You know, I think a lot when women enter menopause, there seems to be a greater focus on the physical aspect of the experience, right? So like hot flashes and weight gain. But from what I'm hearing from other women and from what I've experienced myself, when it comes to entering into menopause, there's not a lot of conversation about the mental health aspect, in particular, the potential for heightened anxiety during this transition in life. Can you tell us how common is it for a woman to be dealing with something like anxiety or depression as their body's going through these physical changes?
I think it's a lot more common than what we give credit to, because all of the focus during menopause deals with the bodily symptoms. So like you said, the hot flashes, the weight gain, and although those might be concerning, what a lot of women and even physicians don't really take into consideration are the mood changes that we go through, the fluctuations in our moods because of the hormonal shifts that are occurring once again now during the menopausal period.
And you kind of already spoken to this, but can you help us understand too, what causes some of the anxiety around menopause?
Well, the anxiety that occurs during menopause has a lot to do with our body's hormones, such as oxytocin and cortisol levels. When oxytocin levels are lowered because it's triggered by estrogen, and during the menopausal period, estrogen levels are lowered, it doesn't help us regulate our emotions. So the purpose of oxytocin is to help us in bonding during that pregnancy period when oxytocin levels are heightened, or during intimacy when oxytocin levels are heightened. It helps us bond in that relationship. However, oxytocin is also necessary to regulate our emotions and serves as a stress relief. So, as you might imagine, if we have a decreased level of oxytocin, then we don't have that buffer to navigate the various emotions that we might be experiencing, or to give us the stress relief from all of the other things that are happening in our bodies, such as the weight gain and the mental fog and the hot flashes. So then we are more prone to experience irritability, frustration, anxiety, depression, even as consequences, because we just don't have the natural buffers of oxytocin.
And Dr. Yip, what are some of the red flags that a woman might be dealing with hormonally driven anxiety?
Anytime that you're feeling irritable, you're feeling frustrated, you feel like you just don't have the tolerance to deal with the burdens and demands that you naturally would in the past, those are some signs that there are some things that are changing. Also, if you tend to have uh, uh, the changes in your mood during the menstrual cycle, then you're going to be at a higher risk of experiencing mood changes also, whether during pregnancy or during the menopausal period, because that is a signal to you that anytime that your hormones are shifting, even slightly, you're going to feel that difference in your mood, in anxiety, irritability, frustration tolerance. So those are some telltale signs earlier on, even before you go through menopause.
Dr. Yip, I love talking to you. I'm going to have you back. But for those who need your resources, where can they find you?
They can find me on dryip.com, and you can listen to my podcast, which is the Stressless Life Podcast.
Wonderful. Dr. Yip, thank you so much. There is